Live from New York City, fashion capital of the world. John, mute yourself, man. So, what we're doing today, this is not exclusive to the UK. What we're doing today is a launch of a couple of things. So, I want to break this down into, I know there's people watching, and I've run businesses. My name's Tony, for those of you who don't know me. I've run businesses on both sides of the Atlantic, whether it's Canada, the US, UK. And, anyone that tells you there's no difference, there's little differences. There's not major ones. And one of the things I find about dealing with the UK is the financial perception of what a lot of money is until people make a lot of money. And I want to go back here to years ago when I was in Canada. I grew up in Manchester. I moved to Canada. I've been all over the world. I moved to Canada when I was in my early 20s. I started a job knocking on doors. I was terrible at it. However, I just persisted with it. And I did well, and I started making like 1,000 a week. Then I got promoted, started making 2,000 a week. I was in my early 20s, and I basically blew it and had to leave the country in 24 hours. We're not going into details here on this one. So a couple of years after that, I got a phone call from Canada, and someone wanted, the same guy that I used to work with, wanted to recruit me back. And long story short here, I ended up in Canada within 2 days. I dumped everything I had because he offered me 10,000 a week on some numbers. I never believed that. He basically said, we're in a new business, and the most I'd ever earned a week in my early 20s was a couple of thousand, which at the time seemed like all the money in the world when I was 22, 23. I felt like the richest man in Babylon. In reality, it's not a lot of money. So I'm mid-20s, I get offered this position by a guy called Tim, and I know a couple of guys on this panel have actually met Tim, and he convinces me, because he's a hugely convincing guy. He said, I'm going to team you up with your old teammate, you're going to set up an office, a couple of thousand clients a week, and you make 10,000 a week each. And I just thought it was complete nonsense. So, but he put some money in my bank. He put about 5,000 in my bank as a sign of good faith, and I thought, this guy's serious. So I followed up on that. Went over there, struggled for the first day or two, got the hang of it. And the analogies here are, when we first started in this business, even though I'd done well in a previous business with him, there were some changes. Even though selling water filters, training people to sell water filters, there was no one could touch me in the industry. So I thought in my mind I knew everything. But in reality, when it all came crashing down, I had a huge ego check, and it was a humiliating experience. But I went back with all this knowledge of selling water filters door to door. And the business we got in was the deregulation industry. At the time, it was cheap rate phone calls, which is also about positioning. So we were in a category creator. I'm going to cover that right now for the globe and the UK specifically. We were in a category creator position, and we went out there and had to create a market from zero. So what's happened there? Something's happened there. Someone just popped up. If you guys can stop posting.
Hey, up, Cape, how you doing?
Right, Craig, turn yourself on mute, man.
You back then?
Right, guys, if you don't mute yourself, I will mute you. So I end up in Canada, went through a training class. Number one, I was told I was dressed wrong because my experience of going out selling was a suit and tie job. So I show up in a training class. Even though I'd run and built businesses, I don't mind going back to a training class. I don't mind going back to someone that's doing that business and saying, how's it done? So that's what I did. Went in the training class with a suit. They told me to go away, get a t-shirt, a pair of shorts, and some running shoes, which I did. Went out the first night, watched someone who wasn't that great. Now there's another parallel here. Be careful where you're getting your advice from. So if you're watching someone who is not doing well, it doesn't matter if you practice that 10,000 times, you're still doing it wrong. So when I got in this particular business, I spoke with Darren, I was doing well in the US, and a couple of guys had jumped on in the UK straight away. And I just called Darren. I said, who's the guy that was doing the best in the UK? He said, call Paul, who's on the line there. Paul, in his first month, got 20-something. I'll bring you back in later on, Paul, on this. 20-something new clients, new partners. I thought, right, Paul's the guy I need to talk to. So I get in touch with Paul. We did the transatlantic thing, and you guys all talk funny over there, by the way. I've noticed that about you guys. What's going on? What's that about? And we did the transatlantic thing, and I basically picked Paul's brains and morphed it into what I'm doing. And between Paul and myself and Darren, all that input, not just three of us, but from feedback from everyone else, this is where we're at right now. So I did the same when I got in the deregulation industry. I watched a guy, but he wasn't the best guy, and I called Tim that night. I said, listen, I don't want to watch your number 2 or your number 3 guy. I've flown around the world. I'm serious here about this. I want to work with the best guy you've got. Well, he's busy. I don't care. I flew around the world. He can change it. I want to go out with him. And it was a guy called Dr. Ed. And I went out and watched Dr. Ed, and in the time it was knocking on doors, 15 clients in a day. He basically held the record. Next day I went out. I got a client called Tim. He said, how'd you go on? I said, great. I got one. And then he was not happy with me because I got a client. He said, a guy with your, listen guys, if you can't mute yourself, I'm going to mute you straight away. He said, a guy with your experience, your background, you should be getting 10 straight off the bat. I said, Tim, I went out to get 1. I'm not a fast learner. I wasn't a fast learner in this industry. I wasn't a fast learner in this business. So what I know is, rather than recreate the wheel, connect with the guys that are doing it and pick the brains. It's simple stuff. So what happened is I went out with Dr. Ed, couldn't understand what he was doing, but I got certain things about his body language and certain things, and I called Tim, does this guy get many complaints? No, never. Okay, I go out and get 1. Tim has a row with me over the phone, you should be getting 10. I said, listen, it took me 7 hours to get 1. All right, get 10 tomorrow. I said, no, tomorrow I'm going to get 2. And he went nuts with me again. And I said, 2. And the day after, I'm going to get 4. So when I started this business, the blip I had was I had 4 people jump on board within 24, I think 30 hours, 4 people had jumped on board with me. I still didn't have the first clue what I was doing, so I was just referring them to everyone else. Oh, that, yeah, talk to Darren. That, talk to Darren. Talk to, he's better than me. Talk to Darren. Talk to Darren. I didn't need to be, and I'm still not the point man. I'm still the wingman. The only difference with this is with the UK, I've got a little bit more connection than Darren. So, I refer to it, and every day I'd be on the phone with Darren for the next piece of the jigsaw. Here's what's happening. I'm hearing this, to tell me that. I'm saying that, okay. And then we spend an hour on the phone. Got it. Next piece of the jigsaw, next piece of the jigsaw, next piece of the jigsaw, next piece of the jigsaw. And to the point where literally it's a constant flow of people that are inquiring all the time. What is it you do for a living? What's this thing? What's this deal about? What I know is I don't explain it to people because we've got a video that does that. So when I was, and I'm bouncing around here a little bit, when I was learning how to do a job, I went 1, then I got 2 the next day, then I got 4 the next day. On the 5th day, I got 31, like double the company record. I got it in 3 hours. I'd run out of paperwork. 2 days after that, on a Monday, I said to Tim, okay, I'm good to go. Now I need to learn how to train people. So I sat in the training class, took notes. And then I watched how they did book people on the phone for jobs, took notes, copied ads. So basically I found the best person of everything and copied them. And I know a few of you heard this story. My first week in deregulated utilities, I made $20 after flying around the world and dropping everything from the UK to Canada. My 8th week, I made $28,739. That's $28,739 in 8 weeks. I didn't do that on my own. Okay, physically, I couldn't do that on my own. We were getting paid maybe $20 a customer. I couldn't speak with that many people in a week. So what did we do? We built a team. So this is where we're at right now, talking about building a team. So even though financially a lot of us are not connected here, the synergy involved in building a team is what works, and that is what will raise the whole country. So, when I built a team and when I was making this, big money, a couple of million a year in my mid-20s, What I did is I built a team, even though it was competitive, we all worked as a team. There was a synergy involved. So even though I had eight field trainers out there that all wanted to beat the next guy and all wanted to do better, once a week we'd all get together and go have beer and chicken wings or whatever and just build a team. So the importance of everyone getting connected with everyone else in the UK and also with myself, because I'm here to help, is paramount. So we've got to make people bring it in as a team. So we built a business over there in deregulated long distance. Same as Mercury Communications when it first came to the UK, cheap rate phone calls, because you don't pay for local ones in North America. Excuse me. Then we got into the utility business, which was gas and electric. Well, actually, it was just gas back then. And we found out that the markets were opening up in the UK. So Tim made some phone calls, and we, basically myself and a lady called Tammy, went over and did a test market. And the deal back then was the market wasn't even open. Talk about category creating. We created a category before it was even open, and we had to basically highlight it to the government and create enough of a nuisance of ourselves that they brought the whole deregulation forward. So Tammy and I went over. Everyone I spoke to in the UK said, yeah, they won't do that here. No, I did it in Canada. Yeah, it's different. It won't do it here. I said, right, has everyone grown another head? Do you have extra limbs? People are people are people are people. There might be a few nuances. And what we were doing then was we were knocking on doors, and people were registering for a 10-year savings program on gas and electricity and paying us £30 up front on a door. So how many people in the UK do you think said that was possible? I'll give you the answer on 0 hands. No one. 100% people who are experienced guys at knocking on doors would say, no chance, can't be done. They're just going to give you £30 if it can't be done. So Tammy and I went out, did it anyway, ignored them. British Gas and all these big companies said it won't work. You'll never do it here. You'll never do it here. You'll never do it here. And Mike, who's on the panel, and James, who's somewhere on there, we did it. We just did it. We did it. Thought, right, there's a business there. A guy called Stefan and Tammy came back, so I was doing a lot of stuff in Canada at the time, but they came over as 2 Canadians to the UK, and they had a few little quirks and a few little things that they weren't quite used to. I remember being watching Tammy working, and the word fortnight, meaning 2 weeks, the word fortnight doesn't exist in North America. So Tammy's asking this lady, how often do you pay your bill? And she says, every fortnight. And Tammy says, yes, I know that, but how often is that? She says, every fortnight. Oh, monthly? No, every fortnight. Oh, weekly? No, fortnightly. And I'm across the road, I couldn't stop laughing, and I just let this go on for a little while. I said, Tammy, a fortnight is 2 weeks. Never heard of the word before. So there's little things like that. These guys sent a bunch of guys into what was known as the Bronx of Britain. They got lots of customers, but they lost the money trying to get out the Bronx of Britain. Little nuances like that. So I got called in with a couple of other people, and this is key where we're at right now. This is key. With one person trying to do everything on their own, it's a massive uphill struggle. With 2 people, you can get the ball rolling. Once you've got a panel like this, boom, we're in, we're going. I'm telling you right now, we started this. There was in the UK, there was Stefan, who looked after the office, Tammy, then I came over, a guy called Kelly, and 2 other Canadians. There was 7 of us. Built a business that sold within 10 months for, I don't know what the figure was, but close to $1 million, maybe a bit more than $1 million. There's one guy on this panel, I'm going to bring him in shortly because he started with us in this business, and what he made when he was 19 years old will blow your mind. However, in fact, you know what, let me try and bring you in now, Mike. Can you unmute yourself? You there? Cool.
Yep.
So, you got into a business with us not knowing anything, and you were 19 years old, that's correct, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? And I believe, was it Kelly that trained you?
Kelly and Tammy, but yeah, mainly Kelly.
And who?
Tammy.
Oh, and Tammy. Okay, cool. And long story short, you were 19 years old, right?
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to get into a position of leading people? Running a team?
It was a
Couple of months?
couple of months, yeah, probably about 3 months, I reckon, before I was managing then my own team doing it.
And just tell us very briefly, you were 19, so how old are you now?
Oh, I'm younger than most of these on here.
Yeah, okay.
36 now.
36, so 17 years ago.
Yeah.
17 years ago, what was your best week in pounds?
Just over 12 grand.
Just over £12,000, and you were 19 years old, yeah?
And we got paid cash.
You don't say that on here. Did we? I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
remember,
that's why I never knew what you were earning. Well, actually, you know what? We collected a lot of cash as well, and that was a bit of an issue at the time. So we had to. I don't know. I'm not incriminating myself here. I can't. I have nothing to do with the payroll. The fact that my stepmother worked it out is nothing to do with me. Okay, just saying. So £12,500 when you were 19 years old. But if someone would have told you on an interview in a few months' time you're going to be earning £12,500, you wouldn't be on this panel now because we would have never met.
No, like the job I was knocking doors before that, and earning £50 a day was then classed as a good day. So going from, again when I first started, it was just learning the ropes, but then very quickly it was the easiest job I've ever done, and the job then that, as I say, I absolutely loved, and I would just wish it happened now again, now I'm a bit older, where I'd save some.
Listen, I'm the king of spending money. I can beat most people, right? Everyone, okay. So
it was just a mad time. We were all young, we were all just doing it, and yeah, the money was crazy, and then we just got used to it then, and it just become our norm. People earning £1,000 a week was like, oh, is that all? It was, really was like big hitters, and we were all, I was probably one of the youngest, but yeah, all early 20s, and then that we're doing it, and we were just out in the van all day, just having time of our lives, really.
I remember, and this is funny actually, and this is people's perception. There was a young Asian kid, I can't remember his name, but he was about 18 years old. This Saj Ahmed, I'm sure that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't find him. I've been trying to hunt him down, but I can't find him.
Well, when he came in, he literally had holes in his shoes, and within like 3 weeks, he was all like Versace'd up. And his mum came into the office to check we actually had a business, and he wasn't selling drugs. That's how much money he was making within weeks. I mean, it sounds nuts, but if you're 18 years old and you're going from zero, and you're making 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 a week, your family's bound to be a little bit suspicious, So, yeah, that's it. Well, I've got news for you, Mike. This is easier, and those days are back. That's the good news. So how are we going to do this? Right? Do you want to just mute yourself a second? Thanks, man. So it's doable. The perception we have is we have mental blocks based on our past experience. But once we get through those blocks by accident, then it becomes normal. For me, I had a mental block at 1,000 a week, and that was because, and I didn't really pay any attention to goal setting back then, because at that time we had a wall on the board, and I worked with Tammy back then as well, a board on the wall, and it was the wall of fame. Anyone that earned over 1,000 a week got a photocopy of the check put on the wall. And I always wanted to be on this wall, and I finally got on this wall. So I had this perception of 1,000 a week being all the money in the world. Then I got promoted to another job running Quebec, and by accident started making 2,000, a couple of thousand a week in overrides and this, that, and the other. And then I thought 100,000 a year was all the money in the world. And you know what? It was for a while till I started making 20, 30 and change a week. And then I thought, that's all the money in the world. You know what happened? I took my foot off the gas. There's a reality. It quite easily could have been 100, 200,000 a week, but I had this, holy crap, I'm making more than anyone in the city I live in. and I was still in my, mid to late 20s. So I kind of hit that your momentum to get it going. And we're all going through this momentum to get it going. So momentum, when there's a few people in momentum, all of a sudden you grind momentum quicker. So everyone on this panel needs to sort of tie this whole UK thing in. It's not a matter of who's in this line and who's in that. Listen, I work with everyone in the US. These guys down in Florida or in El Paso, Texas. And there's no connection with me at all financially, but we all help each other. Dodie Johnson, I've got no financial connection at all, but we all help each other because it's all for the greater good. Because a rising tide raises all ships. So there's a bunch of people watching this right now, and it's going to record anyway. Where we went from there is we went from the UK. We did this. They try to make us out to be the bad guys. Don't do any business with these guys. It's all BS. They come here. The Canadians coming over here taking our jobs. Blah 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 blah. And all of a sudden, there was a massive shift. 6 months later, the government are out there telling people switch your energy companies to save money. So all of a sudden, we go from the bad guys to the good guys. But when it got like that, we sold out and moved on. Because we were the category creator. To make money over there at that business, now I don't know, but if it's anything like the US or the Canadian market, when I was making whatever, a couple of million a year from zero in the utility industry, now I don't know anyone that does that from zero. It's just, it's not flooded, but it gets more and more competitive. So where we're at in the UK right now is we're still very much ground zero. We're still very much day one. However, there's a few things coming. Number one, okay, we operate in 32 countries. And something I learned off Paul. We operate in 32 countries. You can build a business into the US without having any IRS issues. So I can be sat anywhere, run a business out of Manchester in the US without paying US taxes because it's an online business. So when people say, what discounts do I get in the UK? Fairly minimal, the same as every other country, but we target the biggest market in the world. We target the biggest market in the world. Why am I going to target the UK, 60 million people, when my target market is online, it's 400 or 500 million people? That makes more sense to me. I don't know anyone in the US. You know what? You do. You just don't realize. But this also goes back to the basics. The basics of we make a list without any judgment at all. So if all your list is entirely in the UK, that's fine. Doesn't matter. On that list, off the memory jogger, so if you've got 100, 200, 300 on that list, the 20 most influential people, and again, it doesn't matter if they're in the UK or wherever, it makes no difference. The 20 most influential people, we pick up the phone, we don't email them, we pick up the phone, and we just make a connection. We don't pitch them, we don't sell them, we make a connection. I had another one today. These people are crazy. Some random inbox. I don't mind getting into a conversation with people. This lady in the Philippines, and I thought, that's good, we operate in the Philippines, let's see where she's going with it. Hi Tony, how are you? No idea who it is. Oh, I'm fine, great, how are you? Find out what she does. Straight away, bang. I'm with this super duper company. Oh, right, great, how long have you been doing that? Oh, I started doing it in July. Oh, wonderful. How many's in your team? 3,000. I went, oh, that's good. From July to now, 3,000. I think there was a little bit of exaggeration maybe going on. And she starts talking to me about all these convoluted matrices and levels and stuff that I don't even understand. It's way beyond me. And I said, 3,000. So how much did you make last month? Oh, I had a good month. I made 800. And I thought, where do I go with this now? So all I did was do a quick, what's it called, the earnings calculator. I thought, I'm not even getting, someone that just comes out and starts pitching me straight away. Either I'll take them on a stream so I can make a Genius of the Day post, but I've stopped getting them. So this one, I just did an earnings calculator, roughly broke it down. 3,000 divided by 3 is 1,000, divided by 3 is 330, divided by 3 is 110, divided by 3, did it in reverse, worked it out. And it worked out, it should have been, I said, yeah, you should be earning about $15,000 a week, not a month, not 800. There's the calculator. And that's what I did and left it. But she actually told me she was okay where she was. So fine. But what I'm saying is when we approach people like that, that's what we're going to get. We're going to get pushback. We're going to get massive pushback. So the connection, so it's memory jogger, master list, I call it. You call it what you want. Influence list, doesn't matter. It's just a label. Those 20 to 30 people pick up the phone. All we're trying to do is find out where they're at in their life. So pick up the phone. Hi, just touching base, reaching out, saying a quick hello. How you doing, John? Great. What's new in your life? And then get into a conversation. I did this one the other day for you guys. I've got loads of good hangouts. I'm not saying that for myself, just feedback. Good hangouts on my YouTube channel. The one I did the other day, which is about starting up from zero, is called The Secret Sauce, and it's about this. I'm just condensing it real quick for you. And it's about an entire breakdown of fast-tracking a startup. And, John, just mute yourself. So what actually happened is, I've lost my train of thought there. So all we do is reaching out to them, and we're not doing anything. I call it selfless connection. I'm not reaching out saying, you know what, I wonder at which point I can jump in with this guy and show him my link, website, video. I'm not at all like that. So I speak with him and generally have fun. And I might drag it out for 2 or 3 minutes, might be 5 minutes, and I'll just feel the moment when there's an opening. And the moment generally comes from laughter or connection. So if you've not got the skill set to be able to get someone laughing within 30 seconds of a conversation, because it's a skill set. It's not a talent, it's just a skill set. If you've not got that, and I don't mean tell them a joke, I mean a connection, you know, something you've done that's crazy with that guy. And I'm sure, Mike, I'm sure you and I have probably done some crazy stuff that I can't even remember. I do remember a party somewhere, but we're not talking about that. But anyway, so there's always stuff. I know John, who's on the call now, if he tells you I was being chased by the police on motorcycles every single day, he's making it up, but it was a pretty funny story. But that's how we connected. We connect, we're laughing, we're joking, then all of a sudden, I just ask, you know, how's things in your life? Simple. How's things in your life? And I'm going to get 2 responses. They're going to be on a peak or they're going to be in a valley. So if you're on a peak, and what do I mean by that? Oh, it's great, my son's just got in uni, my wife's got a new job, we got a new house, I've got a new car, I've had a promotion at work, What the hell would I want to pitch in with a business for? What do I want to pitch anyone with a business for? So if a guy's on a peak, you know, in generally they'll ask. Once I've asked what they're doing, they'll generally ask what I'm doing. So, and there's an art to this, and I know I did it on the other one the other day. 50 questions to create rapport. It's on that secret sauce. It's all about that. So literally, by asking the right questions, you're going to get asked the right questions in return. It's just the way life is. It's reciprocal. When I ask and I actually listen, so these people tell me I don't remember people's names. Oh, hi, my name's Tony. If they go, hi, my name's Melissa, and I'm still thinking of Tony in my own head, I've not heard her name. The next time I see her, I can't remember who it is. Oh, that's so there's a little one for you here. When someone says, introduce themselves to you, hi, my name's Melissa. Oh, Melissa, okay, nice. Okay, I used to know someone else called Melissa. What I've just done is I've just told myself that twice in my own head, just to remember next time. So the art of listening, 2 ears, 1 mouth, is underplayed. So when they're talking, listen, and they're going to give you all kinds of clues. You're gonna instantly find out where they're at in their life. Instantly, as soon as they open their mouth. As soon as you say, how's things, if they answer with, not bad, or same crap, different day, they are not in a peak. How's things? Oh, great. You'll just feel it. Whether it's on the phone, whether it's face-to-face, you'll just feel it. But carry on, great. What's new in your life? What's going on in your life? What's new in your world? There's 10 different ways you can ask the same question. But all we're doing is just getting a stream of conversation going. That's all. No business whatsoever. None whatsoever. And then at some point they'll ask me what I'm doing. And I'm very, very vague. Yeah, I'm keeping busy, enjoying the sunshine, da, 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 da. And I generally won't even talk about business because they'll ask me again. I'll talk about anything. Yeah, last week I went to the shore. Da, 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 da. What are you doing for a living? Oh, I've just started up this new online business. Yeah, yeah. In fact, you know what? This is something you might be able to. I don't know if you can help me with this. Okay, we're rolling it out. It's an international business. We're rolling it out around the world. But you know a lot of people. You might know someone. Do you know anyone that's kind of in transition, that's in between jobs, or just got a divorce or something, like in a transition period in their life, or anyone that's in breaking point, got a divorce, they've just been laid off, they've just been made redundant? Because what I'm looking for maybe 3 to 5 really good guys. They've got to have some sort of management marketing background, really, but guys that are keen, that are, you know a lot of people, they'd typically be looking at sort of, I'll do this in British money, they'd typically be looking at 75 to 150,000 pounds the first year, maybe about 125 to 250 sterling the second year. I'm just looking for 3 to 5 guys. Do you know any guys like that? They're in transition, the breaking point. Say nothing. First one to speak loses. And what will happen is one of 3 things. They will say, no, I don't know anyone. And that's highly unusual, because successful people, and bearing in mind we're looking at your master list here, the successful people, the influential people, your connected people, they will always want to help someone. There's no motive in it, they just always want to help someone. What will happen? One is unlikely, they'll say, I can't think of anyone, or they might call you back a day later, which I get. A lot of these inboxes I get from other people. 2, they might say, oh, Frank down the road's just been laid off. Oh, he has? Do you have his details? What I'll do, I'll connect him and just have a chat with him. Is that okay? Make sure, just let him know I'll be calling him. If they ask what it's about, just say, listen, it's so brand new, I hardly know. It's an online international business. Number 3, more often than not, what happens is, I'd be interested in taking a look at that. And I'll take it away from them a little bit. Oh, I thought you were really busy with stuff. Sorry, I didn't want to offend you. I just thought you were really busy doing what you're doing. Okay. No, I'd be interested in taking a look at that. Well, listen, I'm new in this business. I'm not the guy. My business partner and you can use New York City or wherever you go-to guy is. If it's Darren, my business partner in the Canadian Rockies, if it's me, my business partner in New York City is actually doing a one-on-one with people, and it's Thursday night at 9 or whenever it may be. Is there anything you can't cancel? I can get you hooked up with this guy. This guy knows his stuff. He knows it way better than me. I'm new at this. I did the same for the first month. I just rolled everything onto Darren. I don't want to be the point man. I didn't know what I was talking about. You know what? I still don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of this stuff. Okay? So that's what I do when someone's in a peak. I'm not looking for them. I'm looking for who they know. If someone's on a down, if they've just been made redundant, if they've just got divorced, if they've just something bad's happened, if they've just lost their house, whatever it may be, at that point I still don't go barreling in with, I've got this new wonder phone, you should try, we've got the best product service thing in the world, yada 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 yada. No, not at all. It's being a bit empathetic. Really? You got laid off? Damn, how long were you there? Talk to them, get them talking a little bit more. Get them talking more. And get them talking and talking and talking. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. At some point, they'll ask you, what are you doing now? I've got this online business. I work with a guy in the Canadian Rockies. I work with a guy, my business partner's in New York City. You use what you want. Just be truthful with it. So at that point, you know what? At that point, you still don't want to barrel it in. My business partner in New York, I know he's talking with a few guys in Britain right now. And listen, I don't know if there's a fit here or not, okay? But if I could get it, and he's a busy guy, if I could get him on the phone with you, I know he knows this stuff inside and out. And he may have something opening that's suitable for you, it may not. I don't know if there's a fit or not, I couldn't tell you. I'm not the guy. Could I get him to speak with you? I know he's a busy guy. I can try. I know I've got his diary here somewhere. Would you speak to him? See if there's a fit there? Yeah. Okay. Is there anything you can't cancel Thursday at 9? Okay, I'll get him to chat with you then. And then at that point, whether it's someone on a high or a valley, at that point, I go back to rapport. What I'm not doing is drilling for oil, going through the oil and getting back into the rock. Once I've got that, they're on a hangout. At that point, I get back to rapport. What I'm not trying to do is talk about the business. I'm trying to avoid it at all costs. At all costs, I'm trying to avoid it. You know, have you got anything you can send me? You know what? There's all kinds of stuff I don't even understand it. Speak with the guy, and what I'm finding now, is generally, and this is just me personally, there's no right or wrong, it's what suits people. Once someone's been on a hangout, I'm getting a greater response when people have been on a hangout before they watch a video, so the other way around. I find it easier because I get sent videos all day long and stuff and emails. Jill was just laughing about this before. I've got, what, 4,500 emails in my that I've just not even got to yet. Oh, can I send you my link? You know, like, it's one of those eyes rolling back in the head moments. Like, yeah, go on. Yeah, I'll put it with the rest of them. And then, you know, a week later, did you watch it yet? No. Send it me again. I don't even know why I say it. You know. But this is the reality. What I'm finding is the more hangouts we do, we get better at the hangouts. We all get better at this stuff. And at some point in time, someone's going to say to you, you know, I'm going to say, Mike, listen, he's your guy. I'm busy. Do your own hangout. Because that's what Darren did to me. When I said to Mike, speak with Darren, organize a hangout. The message I got back was, tell Tony to do it himself. Means, I wasn't insulted, means someone's got enough faith in me to just say, this guy knows what he's doing now. So that's where we're at. So the more of these we watch, I know you do these, Paul, the more of these we watch, whether it's anyone's, you know, the same with the videos. The great practice for these, you know, guys, is setting up a video channel on YouTube. Even just those walkarounds, some of my early ones have got profanity warnings on them. They're a bit close to the bone. So what I also found out is when I go totally over the top, I'm kind of losing my master people who are watching it. Even though they'll find it funny, they kind of keep the business side at arm's length. So I try and, you know, bring it in between. So this is where we're at right now. That's how you connect. All you're trying to do is get people on a hangout. You are not trying to pitch them. You are not trying to close them. You're not trying to just get them on a hangout. Okay? And on the hangout, if you need me to do one of these a week or one of these, and I'm quite happy to do it. You listen, you fill them up. I'll keep doing them. On a hangout, I have no script at all. So where we're at right now, we're talking specifically about the UK. We now have enough people, I don't even know how many people are in the foundation in the UK, enough of a foundation in the UK to just go woomph. So what you guys need to do is interact with each other, the same as, you know, Mike and Stefan in Alberta and you know, I'm losing track of names now. Brian down in North Carolina, and Gary in Colorado, and Darren. We just bounce stuff around between us, but the whole company needs to be doing that. But when you're in the UK, the people in the UK, when I'm talking about bounce stuff, I'm talking about specifically online, Facebook stuff. People see traffic, and I'm getting messages now from people saying, I see something big's happening next week. I'm actually getting messages saying, something's going on with you guys, isn't it? Because we're all just doing this 20 second, 20 second, 20 second, 20 second, 20 second, 20 second. And if they're seeing it from me and they're looking here at all of a sudden 20 second, what's going on the 20 second? I don't know. But it's on the 22nd. Listen, I may be able to get you onto the launch. I don't know, but I know it's something huge. So to take it from here to where we're at with what's going on in the future, the fact of the matter is, there's no real big savings in the UK, but that's fine. You know, I don't actually get a lot of the savings for taxation purposes. I'm based in the UK, you know, so that works better for me. I have a company set up in the UK. It works better for me. So I don't actually get the US benefits. I get the same as you guys. It doesn't stop me building a business. Darren put nearly 300 people in a business without having any benefits. He was in Canada. They weren't available then. So that's just, if people start asking you about the benefits and taking you down that path, okay, it's a target market US business, all online. In the words of Paul, when they say, I don't know anyone, he told me last week a question. Can I ask you a question? Have you ever heard of the internet? Which is ridiculous. One of my friends, the guy, the clothing designer guy, he has 2 pugs. One of them passed away a little while ago. Yesterday he said, yeah, I've ordered 2 pugs from the UK. I said, how did you find out about them? Duh. The internet, I went onto pug clubs. I went, oh, I really should know that stuff. So it's the same with us. There's ways of doing it. And when you're targeting people who are connected, who are influential, they'll all know someone. They'll all know someone in the US. And the fact that they can make some money out of the US just by connecting you to somebody else is another angle on this one. So it doesn't matter that the savings aren't there. It has no bearing whatsoever. That's just a mindset from people saying, well, I can't get the savings, so I'm not doing it. You know, I don't use the savings. If I had them, I've got some, but if I had them, I don't go shopping. I don't drive. I live in New York City. We don't shop. We don't drive. I get looked after at restaurants anyway, and I never get ill. So I'm thinking, okay. However, the guys outside of the city all over the States use this stuff every single day. So I'm kind of in the same boat as you guys. But it hasn't stopped me, you know, almost on a daily basis putting people into the business. Because it's not what I do and what I know, it's what they do and who they know that's going to make you wealthy. So I'm just going to touch on this briefly because I don't have all the information. I don't think anyone has all the information. But on the 22nd, what we're doing now for one person, one at a time, there's a way we are looking at doing it for corporate. So my thing now is, who do I know that works at a big corporation? Who do I know that works at a big credit union? Who do I know that works at a gym chain? Who do I know? So I'm doing different lists altogether now, which is, if you work at IBM, listen, I'm going to talk to you because what's coming next week is more targeting things like that. So I believe. I don't have all the details, but that's Monday. So I'm going to open this up in a second, but what I would say is 2 things. We've got pretty much a full panel, and I know people keep dropping on and off, and that's I think that's bandwidth or some stuff I just don't understand. What I suggest you do is get this video out there and just really drum the UK. Something big is happening. And if you've noticed, if you're not on my Facebook, you'll notice I very, very rarely mention the company. I like to keep people guessing and keep them calling me and saying, I won't say the exact words they do, but the most common inbox I get by far the most common inbox I ever get is, WTF do you do for a living? John, just mute yourself. WTF do you do for a living? I can't figure it out. I said, yeah, I know that. What do you do? It looks like you hang around in restaurants and bars and coffee shops all day. Central Park. Yeah, that's what I do. You make money out of that? Well, you know, I live in one of the world's most expensive cities. How does it work? Don't get drawn into it. How does it work? I take that as if I was calling somebody else. How does it work? How's things with you? I'll turn it back around. I want to be in control of that conversation. Oh, I saw you think this new business, send me the link. I don't do it, okay? I won't do it. I will talk to them the same as I would talk to someone if I picked up the phone. Whether it's an inbound or an outbound, it's exactly the same. Listen, I'm really interested in what you're doing. What's going on? What's going on in your life? What's going on? Oh, it's all great, man. It's all great. What are you up to these days? I just turn it right back around. I just turn it right back around to them. Hold on. John, I'm just having to mute you here, man. Somehow. There, we got it. So I turn it right back around to them. The same thing. Because I've made the mistakes of someone said, I'm really interested in your business. Really? Oh, watch this video. Nada. Okay. We've got to connect with them on a non-business level. We've got to find out what they're about. We've got to find out what they're at. What's in their life, where they're at. Are they on a peak? Are they on a trough? And at that point, I mean, you do what you want, but at that point, I get them on a hangout. If they're in a trough. Even if they want to know all about it. Have you got anything you can send me? Listen, I'm doing better than that. I'm getting you on with my business partner up in the Canadian Rockies. Never mind links, they're a waste of time. Once I've been on a hangout, or seen a hangout, or these videos, I know Trina, who's on there somewhere, just random message, I saw one of your hangouts. You know, stuff like this. So the more of these we do, it's like, even if I'm not doing this one night, I know there's people watching these things all the time. So that's where we're at. We've got huge, huge, huge things going on next week. We've got the deal down now. I don't know what it is. What does it work out to be? About £60 or something in the UK? Something like that? Yeah. So instead of 230, 240, it's 60 for another week. Okay. The UK, I will tell you right now, the UK, when something kicks, sometimes it takes a while to kick, and some of that might be skepticism, and I put a lot of that down to if you're, you know, that circle of five, if people are just sat in a pub with a bunch of broke people, there's going to be skepticism to anything that is doing well. There's always, it's like the freaking media over there, you know, the tabloids, is like, you can't avoid them. And then we become surrounded with this, you know, what's going on. Once we snap out of that, I am telling you now, I am telling you right now, all those people that thought I was an idiot for starting a business in the UK last time, all wanted a piece of it within months, but it wasn't available then. All those people, once they see you making money, want in. So all of a sudden, if you've never ever read a book called The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 10, 100. It literally goes vertical. And it's called the tipping point, where all of a sudden the word is out. Doesn't matter what it is, the word is out. It could be Apple, it could be anything. All of a sudden there's a tipping point where everyone wants in, or everyone wants it. The master of this, and you guys will get it in the UK, is Ed Hardy, whose name is not Ed Hardy. This guy, Christian Oberg something, he creates a brand, he makes it trendy. As soon as it peaks, he sells the business and starts another one. So he creates a category. We're doing that right now. We're doing that right now. I will tell you one. In fact, let's open this up to you guys. So you guys can unmute yourself and let's interact across the Atlantic. Jill is there. Paul is there. We're all on. You don't have to, guys, but if you want to. So Jill.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with you. I know you talk with Darren a lot, which is cool. What's going on with you? How are we doing? Any challenges you're having?
My main challenges have probably come from my own mindset, in that I saw past that we couldn't get the benefits over here when Craig first showed me the opportunity. And I just thought it was a great opportunity. But when I'm talking to a lot of people, a lot of them say, well, it's not really applicable to people in the UK. You know, so, but that's the ones that I have shared the opportunity with.
Okay, I'll stop you there on that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop you there on that. So I get it totally, what you're saying. 100%, I get it. But what happens is, I can't really say the thing. They're focusing on the benefits, which suggests to me that we're selling the benefits rather than the opportunity. The opportunity is I can build a business. The benefit is I can build a business in the US. Why would I want to do that? It's the biggest market in the world. I can build an international business off my kitchen table.
Yeah.
So
that's the slant I'm taking now and getting much better feedback.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. I mean, I thank Paul for this one. That's the, you know, if you can't get the benefits, you can't get the benefits. Okay, but you do have the benefit where you can make a huge income stream out of the US, sat in your kitchen in wherever.
Yeah.
Could even be Liverpool.
Can I just chip in on that, Tony?
Yeah, absolutely, Paul.
What I do is I say to people, I try and get what is it you like to do? What's your passion? And it might be, oh, I like surfing. Oh, cool. How often do you get to go? Oh, not very often, because obviously I've got work. And you get to that point. So then you say, well, what would you need to cover all your bills so you could go surfing all the time? And they say, oh, I need to earn £2,000 a month. Okay, well that's about $3,000 divided by 95. Well, look at that. That's how many people you need to be free. That's all with the opportunity that, that's what I do. I frame it with the number of people they need.
Yeah.
If they're already in a network marketing business, I call it the commission
Let's not even worry about them. Let's talk about people who are not. Because there's more
not in
than
network marketing.
Yeah, I mean, no one in mine. One person was.
Yeah.
But I think let's just focus on something. You did the same thing as we were talking about. Shifted from the benefits to
exactly
the opportunity. Now, it doesn't matter. We'll leave. Whatever business they're in, it doesn't matter. I just speak with anyone. But when I'm looking for my 20 most influential, I'm looking for business people. I'm looking for doctors. I'm looking for people like this. But the main thing, and that Paul said and myself, is just get that shift away from the benefits. So on a Hangout, I'm doing a Hangout now. Okay, the benefits for the UK is you can run a US business. You've got a target market of 400 million people. I don't know anyone. Okay. You don't have to know all 400 million. You have to connect with between 6 and 8. I don't know what the percentage is, but if that is 6 and 8, 400 million is the size of New York City. So 6 and 8. And I guarantee you now, you'll know someone that knows 6 and 8. By the way, you on Facebook? Yeah. Duh. What are your hobbies? Doesn't matter what it is. This guy, Pug Dogs, could be surfing. Okay. All these groups and things like this on Facebook. They're ideal. They're ideal just to connect. I have 20 groups, 5,000 people in each for all kinds of things. Social media, World Cup, Manchester United, Krav Maga, blah, blah, blah. I've lost track completely. Fundraising thing I was doing last year with marathons. But I'm connected with these people from all over the world, which also means people from all over the world are connected with people right here in the States. So the shift is, we're not talking about the benefits. Do you think it's easier to find people in an island of 50 million to look for benefits, or do you think it's easier to find people out of 500 million who want to utilize benefits?
Yeah.
Okay, so why would I start with 50? We'll go to the 500. Because, in my experience in business, and I can't speak for anyone else, my experience would be, once there's 1,000 of you guys in the UK, you know what? If it was me, it's not my business. If it was me, I'd be looking for, what can I bring to you guys? How can we help? How can we approach similar businesses that we operate with in the US and say, listen, we've got 1,000 clients in the UK straight away. Can you give us a discount? That's what I'd be doing. But that's not, that doesn't matter. What matters right now is deal with what we've got, where we are. We've got the opportunity to run a business in the largest marketplace on the planet. The largest free marketplace on the planet, sat at our kitchen table in wherever we are. I can't remember where you guys are, but somewhere. Could be anywhere. I'm speaking with guys now in Thailand and in Asia, and I'm targeting different countries. for specifically that reason. Because if no one's in Thailand, if no one's in New Guinea, I know one guy in New Guinea. He's getting a call next week. Hey, do you want to be the first guy in New Guinea to run a US-based business? That's what I do right now, and that's tougher for me. But now we've got that synergy there in the UK. Work it together. So anyone else? Who else can I pick on here? Mike, we've had you up. Who? I can't even see who we've got on the screen here. James, we're gonna. Jonathan. Jonathan's new. James is new. So both of you guys are going through the first steps. Lee, are you new? Is this Lee the footballer?
Yeah, I'm new. Yeah.
You're Lee the footballer.
Our coach. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Aren't you a Liverpool scout?
No, that's someone else.
Oh, is it? Okay, we can talk to Lee then. All right, that's okay. No Liverpool scouts in here. I know this is recorded. I really don't care. So yeah, Lee, you're new as well. So Mike will go through with you step by step. But guys, have a look at that. The Real Tony Cohen on YouTube. It's the same link that this one will be on, and it's only a day or two ago. The Secret Sauce, and it's basically a fast track startup. And the reason I did it is because so many people are jumping in my business now. If I'm spending an hour on a phone with everyone, we don't grasp it, we absorb it. My suggestion is watch that 2 or 3 times, and that's what I used to do with Darren's. I'd have on my the bar on the top, I'd have 2 or 3 of his things open. So every morning for half an hour, I'd just watch something and just refresh, and I'd do it then with it, because I could always stop it, write something down, carry on. The videos in the back office, Larry's 3 15-minute videos, stop it, write something down. So that's the whole point of doing these live hangouts. Who have we got here? Who's this? Next to, I can't even see.
Mark.
Is that Mark?
Yeah.
Mark's one of your guys, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good.
Do you want to unmute yourself, Mark, or would you rather deal with Paul?
Yeah. No, that's fine. No, I think I just did it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Where in the UK are you?
Well, I'm from the UK, but I'm actually in France.
Oh, ça c'est bon.
Something like that, yeah.
Where in France?
In Brittany.
Oh, lovely. Do you live there?
Brittany, up in the northwest corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been living here for. Yep.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, it's the same whether you're in France, England. I don't know if Scotland's a separate country or not yet, but it's at some point tonight we'll find out. Doesn't matter, if you're in Lima, Peru, or Rio de Janeiro or Bangkok, it makes no difference. So I've spoke with Mike, I've spoke with Paul, and what I suggest we do, guys, okay, is I started that thing today, that stream thing. If you need help, I'm here to help. The person that you started your business, okay, speak to them first before you speak to me. This is okay because Mike and John and James and Shreen and however many other people work with me, so I have no problem with anyone jumping on. What I don't want to be doing is upsetting the apple cart or anything like that. So I'll tell you one final story just before I go. And this is where some of you are at right now. My business partner in Canada, when I got there, I was earning big money. This guy's name was Mark Silver, and Mark, I believe, now owns the biggest private jet in Canada. Self-made guy, started putting siding on the back of a wagon when he was a kid. Blah, 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 blah. Good guy, great guy. And he sold a business to British Gas, let me get the figure right, £572 million that he'd started 3 years earlier, which was basically a bunch of guys knocking on doors. So, I kind of looked up to Mark in certain things. But one thing I know about Mark is, we started a business, we're making big money, all of a sudden Mark sold his car, someone bought it, so he ended up without a car. And, he said to me, listen, Tony, you know people, you got friends. I don't know why he thought I did. He said, I want a Bentley Turbo. And I said, oh, hang on. Pick up the phone, call my friend Sergio. I said, Serge, you got any Bentley Turbos? Yeah, I've got 2. All right, I've got this guy here. Can you bring one up? He said, no, I don't bring cars to people. He's got to come to the showroom. I said, listen, he's a busy guy. He said, I don't care. He's a busy guy, Serge. If he's busy, he's busy. Okay, if he wants a car, he wants a car. Bring him to the showroom. So I said to Mark, listen, you won't bring a car up here, you've got to go to the showroom. And to my amazement, Mark said, oh, that's fine, that's great. That's fine, that's great. And the thing was, Mark was enthused about events. He would drop anything for what he was enthusiastic about. He'd drop anything. Can you guys mute yourself quickly? He would drop anything for what he was enthusiastic about. And we went down there. I picked Mark's wife up on the way down there, and I can't remember what I had at the time. It certainly wasn't a Bentley. It might have been a Jag or something, Porsche or something. So I go down there with Mark, and looks at the car, and yeah, love this. And Mark was a guy, I've told another story about this. Mark was a guy that smoked these like 50-pound Cohiba cigars everywhere, constantly. And when they banned them from smoking inside in Canada, people used to come into his office every week. He had a humidor on his desk. So we all used to smoke them. He'd come in the office once a week and say, it's a $300 fine, you know. And Mark would just go, yeah, I know, I was expecting you. There you go. Thank you. Come again next week. Didn't care. So we walk in this Rolls-Royce Bentley dealership. He loved these cigars, walks in Rolls-Royce Bentley, and he's smoking a cigar, and straight away they say, excuse me, sir, you know this is non-smoking. And Mark just went, yes, I know that, yeah. I'm here about a Bentley. So what are you going to do? A guy's going to come in, he wants to spend a couple $100,000, but he's smoking in your showroom. You let the guy smoke. So anyway, he talks to my other buddy, George, and George shows him his car, and Mark and George go for this test drive in this Bentley Turbo. Back then, I'd never been in anything that literally, because of the weight of it, it'd just go, and then boom, like a plane, the back end would just kick down, and when you hit the brakes, because of the weight, you thought you weren't going to stop, then all of a sudden it just stopped dead. Wow, this is some car. So anyway, long story short, Mark goes to buy the car, his wife freaks out. You know, Mark asks for a discount, his wife totally freaks out. If you buy that car, I'm leaving you, you're going to buy a house for the homeless, you're going to do this for this, I'm leaving you. And, you know, the dealership won't give a discount. Mark says, listen, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry, my wife won't let me buy it. And George says, let me just speak with the owner. And he said, the owner said, you know, we'll take 20,000 off if you want to take it today. So Mark just cut him a check like that. His wife shut up. And I'll tell you, the aftermath of that story is, George told me like a week later, he said, we never give discounts to anyone, ever. We don't give them. These are like Bentleys, we don't give discounts. And when I spoke with Mark, he said, oh no, we had that plan, me and my wife. It was planned that we should going to freak out. It was a total scenario set up. Okay, that was, I just got schooled here by a guy in master negotiation. A place that doesn't give discounts, they take 20,000 off straight away because his wife makes this big uproar and says, okay, I can't buy it. So going back to when I landed in the UK, I had a business in Canada. Literally, I walked away from it, even though it was the same company. I had to walk away from my income in one company. Someone's got their YouTube link on. I had to walk away from income in one company, and literally I took it like I started fresh. Can you mute yourself? It might be you, John. Can you mute yourself? I had to treat it like I started fresh. So instead of going and living in, I think the best hotel back then was the Hilton in Manchester or the Lowry or something, instead of doing that, I went to Stefan's house, Stefan's apartment, and he had a little tiny box room, so I stayed in there. I didn't go out doing stuff, I just got down to business. Zero. Literally, I took it like I had nothing. I didn't touch anything, I just lived on my income from there. 0 to 10 weeks, 3-year-old black Bentley Turbo R. This is when everyone's saying, it won't work, it won't work. I had a company, Nissan, Mike knows what these are, the red Nissan things, people carriers. I had one of those for a few weeks, because we had about 10 of them. I had one of those for a few weeks, and then I gave that to someone in my team, and I bought a Jag, had that for 2 weeks, traded that for a Bentley. Why? I just remember being in that Bentley with Mark going like, boom, so we'll get these goals. But, you know, as soon as the Bentley was out there, and I knew what I was doing, as soon as the Bentley was out there, all of a sudden, Everyone wanted in on what was going on. Everyone wanted in. And that's what happens in the UK, and that's what's going to happen with you guys. Okay, we're at that point now where I've got loads of people in the UK that are jumping on board and jumping on board and jumping on board and jumping on board. So I'll do my bit from here. Okay, need you guys to just team up there and connect through. And if you're not connected with everyone on this panel on Facebook, just get connected. Get connected. Get the traffic. Let people see what's going on. You know what? Get this out there. If anyone missed this, blah, 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 put it in your own words, not mine. If anyone missed the rollout, listen, there's huge stuff coming on the 22nd. There's huge stuff now, but now the momentum's happening. When this kicks, I'm telling you guys, when this kicks, it'll go from 0 to 1,000 like that, quicker than anywhere, quicker than the States, quicker than Canada. Why? Closed communities. It's a smaller place, closer community. Hey, listen, if you're a car person, I'm not anymore. I'm telling you right now, the day you show up at your parents' house or your brother's house in a Bentley or a Mercedes or something, the whole street wants to know what you're doing, and 90% of them want in. There's always going to be those 10% that are just, you know, pity party people. I'm telling you right now, that's how the UK works. That's how it works. Once they see that, once they see proof, once they see social proof, which is you guys interacting together, once they see physical proof, financial proof, watch what happens. I'm telling you right now, 3 months from now, you're going to be saying, holy crap, that guy with a dodgy accent in New York City was right, you know. So guys, I'm going to wrap it at that. Live from New York City, the real Tony Coyne. Really appreciate it, guys. And good luck to Scotland or not. I don't know. I'm not even going there with that one. Guys, thanks again. I'm just going to stop this broadcast now.
Cheers, Tony.
You're welcome.